Harvey Mayor Chris Clark, he orders police to remove the entire audience from council chambers at a council meeting. And what was their crime? They were clapping. Let's get into it. Let's watch a quick video. All right. So the backup to this is just moments before what we're going to see here when they're basically told, you got to get the F out of your own council meeting. What had happened is a pastor had torn up his business license for his church. He said, yeah, I'm not down with this. And the residents, Harvey residents, they did a little clapping action. And the police chief said, get the F out. And here's where we jump on in at that point. Here we go.
We're clearing the room. Thank you very much. Ms. Gonzalez, once that's done, you can come up and speak once that's done. Please, everyone, escort yourselves, if you would be so kind. Stage to my left.
Remember, they're clearing the room because the clapping wasn't in favor of the city council, the controlling city council. So look at this guy's shirt, whatever. That's a great shirt.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, those who are sitting, you must clear the room, please. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're sitting, you must exit the building. Thank you.
You gotta go. You gotta leave. Too much clapping.
Exit the building. You can't stand right here. We're gonna move out.
You gotta go all the way out the building.
The building, correct.
It's just like, what? Why? Now he claps. Can't have that.
Don't play with me.
I got to. I get her. Talk about she got me. What is that supposed to mean?
This is a straight dictatorship, is what she's saying. Yeah, that's what this is. Here's what you're going to do. No more clapping. Look, he locks the door in case they might want to rattle that door and get back in.
And she's a member of the public. She is not a member of the city council. But that's all right.
Excuse me. You need to clear this area.
We were just waiting for the residents to make sure everybody gets out safely.
Can we clear this area? Thank you. Before we start issuing citations. Let us please step outside. Let us please step outside.
Is the meeting going to continue? So that's private security for Chapman. So you can't talk to me?
Everybody must step outside, sir.
I just asked a question. I'm providing security.
They are not at liberty to talk to you right now.
Why not? I'm a human being. I'm a
They're
citizen.
given a direct order by their supervisor to not speak to the public right now. We have a job to do. We're trying to clear this area. So let's do that first, and we'll address your situation later. Thank you. Can we have a step outside, please?
Here she is documenting everything. Good for her. That's what I saw.
The minute we're about to start identifying people and start writing them disorderly conduct citations, please step outside. It's my last time saying it.
We waiting on this last person. We waiting on her too. She's elder.
She will be fine. Step outside. I'm not going to say it again. Trying my best to remain calm and professional. But I do not like continuously repeating myself.
Well, you don't have to.
I'm going to start issuing citations and it's you all in court.
Okay.
Let's not go that route.
I've watched enough meetings to see when a city council meeting goes sideways where there's some kind of threat. And I have no issues with the council president saying, clear the room. I've watched in Seattle, Sarah Nelson clear the room multiple times because you got a bunch of nut jobs absolutely screaming at the top of their lungs on an issue that isn't even on the day's dockets, right? I mean, we've seen that. Same thing down in Portland. Mayor Ted just having to clear the room because you got Antifa just talking about Lord knows what. But this one was pretty interesting from the standpoint of you had a pastor that is not in agreement, and I podcasted on this, not in agreement with the fact that the city is trying to control the church with a business license. So you have some dictatorship type situations, shenanigans going on. Now, before we get going on the article, let's take a quick peek and see where Harvey is. Here's Dalton, where Tiff, the super mayor, the beacon of light in the village of Dalton, is located. And then here is Harvey. I mean, it's a couple of towns over, right? You're basically back to back type environments. So is it a shock that this is happening in this area of South Chicago? No, it's not. This is more business as usual. But Harvey is getting quite a reputation for having this kind of thing happen, where you've got just kind of normal back and forth, and you got people clapping normally. And the move came during public comment on Monday's regular meeting, when several speakers levied pointed critiques at the Clark administration. And the Clark administration just shuts it down. Get out. And we're going to have our officers start to write up disorderly conduct citations if need be. Imagine being a judge. Now, let's see. Now, where did the out of control violence happen? Your Honor, I was at a council meeting and they wanted me to leave. And I said, no. What would the judge come up with then? Audience members trickle out of city council chambers as the mayor ordered police to remove them for clapping during public comment. They must have been clapping loud. It wasn't a golf clap, was it? It was just one of these big old. The audience at a recent city council meeting was ordered to leave after the Chris Clark deemed it disruptive. Harvey police officers even threatened citations and arrests. The problem? Clapping. It all happened last Monday after Pastor Jonathan Johnson of Holy Bible Missionary Baptist Church ripped up the church's business license during public comment. In 2023, Harvey clarified its municipal code to explicitly state churches must obtain a business license, long required of nonprofit entities. Johnson previously criticized the ordinance at a meeting last month when two alderpersons staged a walkout. So you've got a walkout, you've got a mutiny going on, you've got, nope, we're going to stay right here and clap. and the mayor just tells him, nope, you got to go. And what they did is they did let some of the folks back in. But by the time they did that, most everybody had left, and they knew exactly what they're doing. You've literally got a dictatorship here in Harvey. You've got cops just doing the bidding of basically the mayor. The clapping occurred once before during an earlier comment, and the mayor issued a warning. The mayor said, we're not having that. We're not playing that game. Homie, don't play that game. That's what you got going on. But following Johnson's comments, Clark slammed his gavel. Whoosh. That was more of a whipping sound, wasn't it? Condemning the audience. He waved at Harvey Police Chief Cameron Bidding, saying, you know what to do. And he does. He clears the building. Get them out. Get these pesky citizens. Get these peasants out of here. They don't have any room here. That's when police ordered attendees to clear council chambers. The mayor then announced a recess. But attendees were ultimately forced to leave City Hall altogether, and most were not allowed back into the building. The move coincides with increased police presence at council meetings and growing allegations Clark is leveraging police forces to silence critics. It does appear that that is what is going on. Is this something new to this part of Chicago? No, it is not. You've had shenanigans like this for literally decades and decades and decades, right? I mean, much further than that, probably. Since June, Clark has read aloud a written statement explicitly prohibited clapping, cheering, hissing, shouting, and other forms of what he referred to as disruptive conduct from attendees. Isn't there just a tiny little thing called freedom of speech? I mean, these kind of things, clapping and cheering and hissing, I mean, you don't want it to be out of control. But this crowd doesn't exactly look like Antifa, do they? No. This crowd doesn't look like ridiculous people concerning themselves with illegal immigrants, just shouting things that make absolutely zero sense because they make absolutely zero sense in front of a city council meeting that they have no business attending. Most of these folks appeared to be citizens of said community, and they were there doing their civic duty to just see what was going on and see how business as usual is being handled. But most of the outbursts and alarming behavior besmirching council meetings in recent months, they've been from city and police officials. Oh, and now they're getting a taste of their own medicine. They're not liking it. Whatever, right? I mean, it's kind of like, okay, you're going to go down that road. You're going to try and just, force everybody into obedience. Nobody's going to have that. But, there's not much you can do when a cop says, hey, you got to get out. Got to get out. And when your mayor says, yep, I'm having the police enforce the fact that you need to leave immediately. So Alderwoman Telani Smith once laughed at a resident who demanded financial transparency during public comment. Yeah. Same issues you've got going on in the village of Dalton, right? Hey, where do we stand with our bills? I don't know. Let's get to it at next meeting. January, Alderman Tyrone Rogers screamed during his aldermanic comment after a viral TikTok video showed a tenant boarded inside their own apartment. That was kind of a scary deal. Guy heard all this racket outside of his apartment, went out there, and he just faced with a sheet of plywood. They were literally boarding him up inside his own apartment. Scary stuff. Scary stuff. All right, guys, you're going to go board up this entire building. What if there's people in there? Well, they can work their way out. Last month in Harvey, a police officer forcibly grabbed a resident's neck while they were being removed from a meeting. That's not good. Harvey Police Chief Cameron Biddings then ordered an auxiliary officer to leave them in there, blocking residents from filming the arrest, likely a First Amendment rights violation. Yeah, I mean, really? Okay. I'm no fan of police overstepping their reach either. I'm not. I mean, I've been on the wrong end of that more than a couple of times, and it's no fun. But in this case, it feels like you've got leadership using their police force as basically own personal, protector of the voice piece that's going out. Hey, if you don't like what I'm saying, you can leave and I will enforce it. On Monday, Smith issued a thinly veiled threat to a pastor who criticized her. I got you, she said. Smith and Alderwoman Colby Chapman would be seen yelling and arguing with one another as attendees cleared council chambers. After the facility was cleared, a police officer came outside to announce that those who signed up for public comment could re-enter City Hall. That included former mayoral ally Ryan Sinwelski, who the mayor had arrested at a chaotic meeting June 13th. People are literally getting arrested at these meetings. It's getting so out of control. And these kind of things, they just feed on themselves. All right, somebody got arrested at that last week. You think anybody this week? Is it going to be exciting? Is it going to be, one of those real meetings with some good, juicy shenanigans going on? By the time they were informed, Sinwelski and another speaker were unable to re-enter that room we saw. The mayor had already adjourned the meeting. Chapman told the HWH as she exited, hey, can I go into the meeting? Nope, it's over. Oh, that sucks. Outside of City Hall, a police executive invited only those who signed up for public comment to re-enter the building. But so then they're going to be speaking to basically nobody. Does that make any sense? Yes, it does, Sean. It's called that little First Amendment thing. It's called, getting that bad boy out of the way. Inside, city officials continued to call names for public comment, and they weren't there. Weird, right? Because you just thrown them out outside. However, by the time that information was relayed to speakers who wished to re-enter, the mayor had already adjourned the meeting. All right, guys, got to go home. Yeah, everybody just have a great evening. We'll see you next month. Wasn't that fun? Treasurer speaks out. Public comment is becoming increasingly precarious in recent months. On Monday, resident Glennis James Watson framed the city's rules banning clapping and other behavior as infringement of freedom of speech. That is what I would say. I would say if that isn't an infringement, it's not a good look. Let's see. You threw them out of a room for clapping, and I'm not talking some crazy where you can't hear clapping, just normal clapping. Harvey Public Library Board Secretary Chappelle Hooks accused the mayor of using various false identities and changing political parties. Clark requested the documents she read to be provided to him, which she did, so he could prepare a response to the allegations. You've just got drama going back and forth, right? Yeah, so we've got another village, town, whatever it is that you want to call, kind of in the same area that has gone a little bit rogue as far as its mayor, and the shenanigans are being profiled, including right here on News for Reasonable People. And we'll keep doing it because this is the stuff that you guys want to know. Hey, what's going on out there? What kind of shenanigans do we have in Harvey? What kind of shenanigans do we have in Dalton? What kind of shenanigans do we have in the township of Thornton? Make sure you're subscribed because I'm going to bring them to you right here on News for Reasonable People. Thanks again for being here. I'll see you in the next segment. Bye for now.